Could the smartest people around you be hiding a toxic side? Think about it. Someone who seems brilliant, confident, and respected might actually be subtly manipulating situations, making you question your choices, your memory, or even your worth. It's the kind of chaos that slips under the radar, invisible to most. Yet its impact on your energy and focus can be profound. In our society, we often equate intelligence with virtue. We assume that smart people are trustworthy, ethical, and supportive. But intelligence can also be a mask, a tool used to influence, control, or gain advantage over others. You may find yourself feeling drained, frustrated, or second-guessing yourself without even understanding why. Stoicism teaches us a critical principle. It's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. The wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus reminds us that clarity, boundaries, and careful observation are our most powerful defenses. Recognizing hidden toxicity is not about mistrusting everyone. It's about reclaiming your mind, protecting your peace, and responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Today, we're uncovering 5 evident signs that a clever mind may be hiding toxic behavior, and we'll explore how you can apply Stoic principles to stay grounded, aware, and unshakable. By the end of this video, you'll know how to spot these behaviors, preserve your energy, and maintain control of your mind, no matter how subtle or sophisticated the manipulations. Stick with me, because these insights aren't just about identifying toxic individuals. They're about strengthening your inner fortress, sharpening your judgment, and making sure your intelligence is never used against you. 1. They twist facts to serve themselves. They twist facts to serve themselves. At first, it might seem harmless, someone simply telling a story in their own way. But the truth is far subtler and much more powerful. Clever, sophisticated individuals often bend the facts to benefit themselves, adding small details, leaving others out, or reframing situations so that your memory, your judgment, or your credibility comes into question. This kind of subtle manipulation is not loud or obvious, yet it quietly allows them to control the narrative and consolidate influence. Imagine this in real life. You present a new idea in a meeting. A smart, polished colleague recounts the same story, but tweaks a few details so that your proposal now seems impractical. Your co-workers begin questioning your judgment, and suddenly you're doubting yourself. Did I remember that wrong? The reality is, you didn't. You remembered correctly, but the narrative has been reshaped to serve their advantage. Stoicism gives us clarity here. Epictetus said, "It is not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them." The point is this: it's not just the fact that your idea is being twisted that causes discomfort. It's how you interpret it. You can't stop them from bending reality, but you can control your reaction, your energy, and the boundaries you set. So, what do? First, pause and observe. The next time someone presents information in a way that feels manipulative, take a breath. Resist the urge to respond immediately and give yourself a moment of clarity. Second, keep a factual log. Write down what actually happened, what was said, and how events unfolded. This becomes your anchor and prevents those subtle distortions from creating self-doubt. Third, establish boundaries. Decide when to engage and when to step back. Confirm facts calmly, without allowing yourself to be pulled into endless debates. Your goal is not to prove them wrong. Your goal is to protect your mind and preserve your peace. Remember, This isn't about confrontation, it's about internal strength. By observing patterns, documenting facts, and enforcing clear boundaries, you reclaim control over your perception. As a mental mantra, remind yourself not to fight them, but to guard my mind. My perception is my fortress, unshakable and clear. 2. They make you question your memory or perception. At first, it may feel subtle, almost unnoticeable, but the effect runs deep. Some clever individuals use gaslighting tactics, intentionally or unconsciously, to make you doubt your own recollection of events. Over time, this creates a fog of uncertainty, wearing down your confidence and quietly shifting control over your thoughts to them. It's a psychological trap disguised as intelligence or charm, and it can drain you without you ever realizing it. Consider a scenario. You recall a discussion exactly as it happened, but a colleague insists your version is inaccurate. They speak with confidence, authority, and just enough charm that your certainty begins to waver. You start replaying the memory over and over, questioning every detail, wondering if you've become forgetful or careless. Meanwhile, they maintain control of the narrative, subtly reinforcing their superiority. This is a classic example of how perception can be manipulated when intelligence meets cunning. Stoicism gives us a powerful lens to face this. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if something external makes you suffer, it is not the thing itself, but your judgment of it. The key here is recognizing that your inner state is yours alone to govern. External attempts to distort your perception cannot succeed if you maintain clarity and focus on what's within your control. You cannot force others to stop misrepresenting facts, but you can control how you respond, how you interpret, and how you reinforce your own understanding. So how do you defend your mind? Start by anchoring yourself in reality. Document what actually happened, your actions, conversations, and observations, not to fuel confrontation, but to maintain a reference point that keeps your perception intact. Second, pause before reacting. When someone challenges your memory, resist the urge to justify or explain yourself immediately. Take one breath. Step back mentally. Consider the situation with calm clarity. Stoic practice teaches us to observe first and react second, ensuring that your response is deliberate, not emotional. Next, practice mental affirmation and boundary setting. Remind yourself, my perception is valid, my mind is my own. Repeat internally, I trust my memory and judgment. External influence does not define my reality. This internal shield reduces the power that manipulation attempts have over your emotional state. Additionally, set boundaries with those who habitually distort facts. Limit unnecessary engagement. Clarify your understanding calmly. Refuse to be dragged into prolonged arguments designed only to destabilize your focus. Finally, observe patterns over time. Notice if this behavior recurs with the same individual. Recognizing a pattern is empowering. It shifts your response from reactive frustration to proactive strategy. Stoicism teaches that wisdom lies in observation and non-attachment. By noting repeated manipulations without anger or judgment, you maintain clarity and protect your internal equilibrium. Remember, the goal isn't to expose or punish the person. The goal is to fortify your own mind. The less control they have over your perception, the stronger and more unshakable your inner self becomes. As a guiding affirmation, I do not surrender my reality. My judgment is my fortress, held with clarity and calm. By documenting events, pausing before reacting, affirming your perception, setting boundaries, and observing patterns, you build resilience against this subtle form of manipulation. Over time, you train yourself to remain mentally unshakable, impervious to the quiet attempts of clever minds to distort your reality. 3. They subtly isolate you from others. Isolation is the quiet weapon of manipulation. You may not notice it at first, but over time, your network shrinks. Some clever individuals don't attack directly. Instead, they cut off your access to support, subtly reshaping your social environment so you rely more heavily on them. This isn't about friendship or preference. It's a deliberate tactic, a strategy to control influence, energy, and information. Over time, you may feel cut out from opportunities, conversations, or decisions you once naturally participated in. You may even start blaming yourself, wondering whether your relationships are fading because of your failings, when in reality, the manipulation is intentional. Imagine a colleague or friend who always schedules key discussions without you or shares important information selectively. Meetings happen off the record. Decisions are made in smaller groups where you're conveniently absent. You might think it's coincidence or that you're simply not assertive enough, but repeated patterns reveal the truth. They isolate to dominate subtly. Stoicism reminds us we cannot control the actions of others, only our judgment and reaction. As Seneca observed, associate only with those who support virtue, not schemes. The focus is not on shaming or exposing the manipulator. It's on recognizing patterns and protecting your clarity. You cannot stop them from attempting isolation, but you can control your response, maintain perspective, and safeguard your energy. So, how do you act? First, reconnect intentionally. Identify trustworthy allies, mentors, or peers aligned with your values. Keep your communication direct, factual, and consistent. Second, observe patterns without judgment. Notice who consistently excludes you, manipulates meetings, or controls information. Make a mental map of these behaviors. Third, establish mental and physical boundaries. Limit your involvement in situations where manipulation is more likely, or ensure your contributions and presence are documented and visible to the right people. Affirm your resilience. Distance preserves my clarity. My judgment and integrity are not dependent on their approval. By doing this, you detach emotionally from the manipulation while remaining fully engaged where it truly matters. Additionally, take a proactive approach to shaping your environment positively. Share knowledge, build strong alliances, create spaces where transparency and virtue guide interactions. Stoic wisdom encourages deliberate action. We cannot control who chooses manipulation, but we can cultivate an environment where manipulation loses power. Finally, reflect daily. Ask yourself, where did I feel subtly excluded? How can I maintain autonomy despite it? This reflection isn't for blame, it's to reinforce internal control, heighten awareness, and strengthen your strategy. Over time, repeated observation and consistent boundary setting build resilience, making it increasingly difficult for any clever manipulator to isolate or drain you. Hook 3, closing punch. Isolation may be quiet, but awareness is louder. Keep your mind unshakable, your network intentional, and your boundaries firm. 4. They celebrate your discomfort or mistakes. Some people gain strength from your stumbles. Your mistakes become their silent playground. Certain clever individuals take subtle pleasure in your discomfort or errors. Their behavior is rarely overt, but it is powerful. They may laugh lightly at a misstep, make sly comments, or highlight your flaws in front of others, always in ways that seem casual or harmless. The result? You feel diminished. You second-guess yourself. You worry about your reputation. While they quietly consolidate their advantage, imagine a colleague who notices a minor error in your report. Instead of offering guidance, they mention it in a meeting with a smile, highlighting the mistake just enough for others to notice. The room's attention shifts. You feel exposed. They're rarely openly malicious. They're clever. But over time, the pattern is obvious. Your failures become subtle power plays. Stoicism gives us a clear lens for this. Epictetus teaches we cannot control the actions of others, only our response. The point is not to confront every jab or seek revenge, it's to control your reactions. You preserve dignity, clarity, and composure, all far more powerful than engaging in petty conflict. How do you respond? First, observe without immediate reaction. Recognize the behavior for what it is, an attempt to manipulate or test boundaries. Second, reframe the event. Mistakes are opportunities to grow, not ammunition for others to exploit. Tell yourself silently, this error does not define me. I choose growth over shame. Third, affirm your self-worth and enforce boundaries if needed. Keep communication clear. Don't allow small comments to dictate your emotional state. Additionally, document patterns. Track situations where subtle jabs occur. This isn't about confrontation, it's about understanding recurring behaviors. Observation without judgment strengthens your awareness and prevents manipulation from undermining your confidence. A Stoic approach also encourages strategic detachment. Stay engaged where it matters, but detach emotionally from petty provocations. This detachment isn't coldness, it's mastery over self. It allows your intelligence and composure to remain intact no matter how others behave. Finally, cultivate resilience rituals. Affirm daily. Their reactions do not control my inner state. My calm and clarity are unshakable. Reflect on how every challenge strengthens your ability to respond with virtue rather than impulse. Over time, this builds an internal fortress where subtle manipulations lose their power. Hook 3. Closing punch. They may celebrate your discomfort, but you celebrate mastery over yourself. Keep your mind strong, your focus steady, and your dignity untouchable. 5. They disguise selfish intent as kindness. Some clever individuals hide selfish motives behind gestures that look generous. They offer help, advice, or favors, but these gestures often come with subtle expectations, obligations, or reminders that create dependence. At first, it feels supportive, even flattering, but over time, the pattern emerges. Their kindness serves their agenda, not yours, and you may find yourself feeling pressured, indebted, or subtly manipulated without fully realizing it. Imagine a colleague who volunteers to help with a project. They complete the work, but always with a comment like, "I hope you'll remember this next time," or "I expect your full cooperation moving forward." On the surface, it seems generous, but beneath it lies control. They create leverage, subtly reminding you of your reliance on them. You feel grateful, yet restrained, as if part of your freedom or decision-making has shifted into their hands. Stoic wisdom offers clarity. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, do not be deceived by appearances. Focus on virtue, not favor. This principle encourages you to look beyond the surface. Kindness is valuable when it's rooted in virtue. But when it's a tool for manipulation, it must be recognized without emotional overreaction. Your goal is to preserve your judgment, your boundaries, and your inner peace. How should you respond? First, pause and assess the motive. Ask yourself, is this genuine support or a subtle attempt to influence my behavior or create obligation? Second, set clear boundaries. Accept help politely if needed, but clarify expectations and maintain your autonomy. Third, act deliberately and according to your values. You're not rejecting kindness. You're ensuring that your choices remain guided by virtue, not manipulation. Also, track patterns. Notice how often help comes with strings attached. Recognizing consistency helps you detach emotionally and respond strategically. Awareness protects you from clever but toxic tactics. A Stoic approach emphasizes inner detachment. Stay courteous and professional, but keep your sense of self independent from others' attempts at control. Your gratitude is sincere, but grounded in virtue, not fear or obligation. By practicing this consistently, you train your mind to stay calm, discerning, and unshakable when facing subtle manipulation. Finally, reinforce this daily affirmation. I am my boundaries and my judgment are mine alone. Reflecting on each interaction strengthens discernment, ensuring that no clever maneuver can compromise your inner freedom. Over time, this builds resilience, clarity, and a strong mental fortress where manipulation cannot take root. The truth is simple. Intelligence alone does not guarantee integrity. Clever minds can build empires, but without virtue, they can just as easily destroy peace, both theirs and yours. What you've seen in these 5 signs isn't just about recognizing toxic people. It's about learning to observe without absorbing, to protect your mind without hardening your heart. Those who twist facts to serve themselves reveal a fear of being insignificant. Those who make you question your memory crave control, not connection. Those who isolate you seek dominance, not partnership. Those who celebrate your mistakes expose their insecurity, not your weakness. And those who disguise selfish intent as kindness prove that manipulation wears many faces. In the end, none of these behaviors define you, they reveal you. Your task as a student of Stoicism isn't to fight shadows, but to master light. You do this through awareness, discipline, and emotional self-control. You learn to see without condemning, to act without reacting, and to stand firm no matter what storms swirl around you. Seneca once said, "A wise man is neither elated by prosperity nor depressed by adversity." That is the essence of Stoic strength, staying centered amid noise, deceit, or flattery. It is the understanding that peace is not something granted by others. It is something you build through boundaries, virtue, and consistent practice. So when you encounter clever minds hiding toxicity, remember, your clarity is your shield. You don't need to expose them. You don't need to prove them wrong. You only need to stay true to your reason, your virtue, and your peace. Respond, don't react. Observe, don't absorb. Walk away when it's necessary, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Every day offers you a choice, to feed chaos or to protect calm. The Stoic path isn't about suppressing emotion, it's about directing it toward mastery. And that mastery begins with one simple truth. You are responsible for your mind. So guard it, strengthen it, sharpen it. Because when your mind is disciplined, manipulation loses its power. When your peace is protected, clever games fall apart. And when your awareness is clear, You stop being a target. You become untouchable. If this message resonates with you, share it and comment the words, "I protect my peace." It's more than a phrase. It's a reminder that you're training your mind daily to stay grounded, rational, and unshakable. Remember, a Stoic does not chase, beg, or explain. A Stoic observes, understands, and acts with purpose. Your clarity is your power. Your peace is your weapon. And your mind, disciplined, calm, and aware, is your fortress. Accept genuine kindness and reject manipulation.